Huh? She'll say that next week.
Yeah.
Oh no, she tricked us.
Hey, Tin, you got this? Let's do this.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Tin TV. This is our Saturday night special edition. This is the 44th anniversary. The Mount St. Helens going off, and it just happened to be in my state. And I've saved up a bunch of stuff because for the last 2 years I've been wanting to do it, and we didn't do it. But we're gonna do it tonight, right, guys? Right.
Sure.
That's the phone call I got.
And real quick, if you're on my channel, click the link above and come on over to Tim's.
Come on over, you guys. We're simultaneously broadcasting on YouTube and on Jay. That and
That sounded really. You really put a lot of emphasis into that.
you want to do that again? Where are we broadcasting simultaneously?
We're broadcasting simulcast on.
And thank you,
There you
everybody
go.
over there.
Wow.
All right. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Let's say hello to a few people in chat, you guys. Go ahead.
I don't even have my.
Let's see, Willard Hall, hello. Garrett,
Alicia
hello.
Parker,
Wake-
Garrett, Willard Hall, Stephanie, Jersey Joe, somebody else.
Dead
Oh,
Slave.
Stephanie had a request for the FJB song.
She did. No, she did.
Bro,
You said it,
Sharon
you me.
Mercier, hello. Gigi's Unhinged, hello. Come on over to
Gigi's
Tim.
Unhinged. I'm actually awake.
Jersey
Garrett,
Joe,
Jersey Joe.
Here's how
David
you do it.
Moore.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad y'all are here in chat. Every one of you. Thank you. There you go. That's how you do that. Since I can't look.
Lisa Parker.
Hey,
Tissa
Lisa.
K.
Hey,
Ziva's mom.
Sharon Mercer, come on over to
Hey,
Tin
Sharon.
Benjamin.
Deeb, come on over to Tin TV.
Is Afro Man here?
No, I haven't seen Big Mac sauce
Yeah.
Our clam sandwich.
or clam sandwich.
She's got a lot of. So we've got over 100 people in chat. Whoa. Okay. So.
See,
So
keep
what?
keep looking for
Adam
Chunky Dog.
J. Come on over to clicky the linky at the top of the page and come on over to Tin TV.
Angel Rose, Longboarding Mom, we're over on Tin TV. Dave Moe, come on over, you guys.
Longboarding Mom. I saw a video of longboarding, I guess, paddling.
I love her channel and her video. Get Carl, because she does a lot of recipes and stuff, and I like
And
that.
she's very, very 9.5 on the uppity scale. She's always there's no, you never get any negative on her stuff. It's
She
always
also
smiles.
has another channel where she reads children's books out loud.
What?
GJ,
Yeah.
get over here.
Ooh.
Gigi. Gigi Unhinged. She's over on
Mine.
yeah, come on over, you guys.
Clicky the linky at the top of the page.
So Mount St. Helens blew up 44 years ago, and now we've got a lot of potatoes.
Well, I'm wanted to ask you guys, like, do you remember, like, how old were you guys, and what do you remember anything about Mount St. Helens? Like,
What
I
year
I
was
do.
this?
1980. I was 20 years old. I remember it well.
I was 9.
But I was on the East Coast, so we were just all we saw was the news. That's it. You know?
Yeah, and everybody was dying, and everybody was breathing
Yep.
in ash, and there was 50 feet of ash all around everywhere. Well, you know what? I'm hearing that's bullshit. Go ahead.
Really?
I
no,
do know
Anyway.
this. There
Go ahead.
was at least almost a foot of ash that covered cars. Only because
on, man.
I had family that lived there, and they came and stayed with us.
I think that was a
Because they were
dude. I think they hit it
evacuated.
with a dude.
Yeah, but
Jason!
they had to be on the
Yeah.
east. They had to be in eastern Washington to get hit like that, because Seattle
Yep,
didn't get
and they
hit that
were.
way. In Wenatchee.
I mean, when they went back, there was at least a foot of ash on most of their cars.
And that's why you have potatoes in Idaho.
there was a lot of ash that came
A-
down that day, so I
You
wanted
mean-
to.
a lot of ass.
So I wanted to show you this. It's just a little bit of information on it, so then we can talk about it.
The eruption of Mount St. Helens on May 18, 1980, was one of the most dramatic geologic moments in America. It was a Sunday morning, 8:32 a.m.
feel like I'm in school.
It was the excited call on the radio from David A. Johnston to his colleagues. Within minutes, the colossal eruption had caused hundreds of millions of dollars in damage, and 57 lives were lost, including Dave Johnston. For 2 months prior to that eruption, scientists with the U.S. Geological Survey and the University of Washington's Pacific Northwest Seismographic Network had been closely monitoring the volcano.
All the deformation on the mountain was local to the mountain, and even more local than that was on the north side of the mountain only. In the nearly 2-month period before May 18, what was essentially happening at Mount St. Helens was that magma or molten material was moving up from some deep reservoir beneath the mountain up into the volcano itself. It began to grow or form what we call a dome or a cryptodome inside the volcano. And that inflating body of magma or molten material actually broke the north side of the volcano and began to cause the north side of the volcano to expand out toward the north.
We were measuring the rate of northward movement of the bulge at about 6 feet a day, and we knew that wasn't so good.
On the morning of May 18, I was driving up Interstate 5, headed up to the north side of Mount St. Helens with some parts and some batteries for our time-lapse cameras. And as I glanced over at Mount St. Helens, it was a beautiful blue sky day, and the mountain was sitting out there, and suddenly I saw this mushroom cloud go up above the volcano and climb rapidly up into the stratosphere.
When I was down in the room where the seismographs were at 8:32 in the morning, and I heard a sound, and I just looked over my shoulder, probably just a split second after the big earthquake had started, and saw that this was something very large, larger than we'd seen before. Watched it for a few seconds just to confirm that. And then I ran upstairs to the next floor, up to the radio desk of the Forest Service, and called Dave. And we couldn't get through. There was no answer.
So I guess I had the realization right away that this was some kind of a tragedy. And on the one hand, it was this huge, exciting, and interesting magmatic eruption, and on the other hand, I was pretty certain that something terrible had happened to Dave. So it was a strange day for me.
And
Damn
we
it,
were off the
Dave.
ground probably at 9:05 or something like that. I mean, it was really, really rapid, and got up to the point where we could really see the mountain well, I suppose between 9:20 and 9:25, something like that. There was this terrific, very vigorous vertical eruption column. There was the stem of the mushroom or the toadstool that then blossomed out at greater height. And for most of the morning, we saw this tremendous ash cloud roiling out toward the northwest. And I can only assume that was coming off of the big pyroclastic flows that were going off in that direction that later built the pumice plain. It was a very eventful morning, but it was sobering, because I remember thinking up in the airplane that Dave just couldn't have survived this, especially when we got around to the west side and saw all this ash headed in his direction.
On the morning of May 18, what actually happened? The landslide basically uncorked this pressurized body of magma and allowed it to explode or expand out towards the north very rapidly. This is what we call the lateral blast. It was a horizontally directed explosion of incredible magnitude. It caused this expanding cloud of ash, rocks, and gases to move out across the countryside to the north at speeds of several hundred miles an hour. The directed blast was really the most destructive event that occurred on the morning of May 18. It completely destroyed an area of 230 square miles in the matter of somewhere between 5 and 9 minutes. It essentially killed every living thing within an area of 230 square miles, and it destroyed hundreds of acres of virgin forest, and it was an incredibly spectacular event.
We put out news stations, and we quickly started to remonitor the volcano again because we had no idea what was going to happen.
Before the dust had literally settled in the summer of 1980, there were USGS scientists swarming all over the area out in the blast zone, studying the pyroclastic flows, studying the debris avalanche deposit, studying the directed blast deposit.
We thought it likely that there would be more eruptions during the summer, and indeed that took place.
And suddenly this immense black eruption cloud came pouring up out of the white layer, that the cloud tops. And I couldn't believe my eyes. I mean, I thought, this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life.
We learned a lot about how you interact with the civil defense, with the public, with the press. And that was transferred by the press to the world. And as a result, I think volcanology took a quantum leap in science as well as applicability to society's needs.
The subsequent eruptions were actually, most of them were forecast fairly accurately by the USGS team of scientists. So when it looked like another explosion was about to take place, our helicopter crews would pick us up and we'd move out to the outskirts of the blast zone. We'd watch and photograph the next eruption. And as soon as the eruption stopped, we'd race out there and study the deposits while they were still hot, while they were just after they'd settled onto the ground. So it turned out that the 6 years that Mount St. Helens was erupting in the early 1980s was an unprecedented opportunity for USGS scientists to study hot, fresh, young, and exciting deposits from explosive volcanism. We learned incredibly new and important bits of information about how volcanoes like Mount St. Helens work, what kinds of deposits are produced during these explosive eruptions, and how to anticipate and mitigate the consequences of explosive eruptions.
Did you see what SkyQuest wrote? My sister-in-law worked for the USGS at that time and knew colleagues killed by Mount St. Helens.
Well, the guy Dave, that volcanologist guy from the USGS, that they showed. Let me see if I have a picture of him. Years later, you guys, they actually had an expedition to go up and try to find anything left from him. And this was him right there. And that's the last known picture. And it was he was sitting a ways, from Mount St. Helens, but he was on that side, you guys. And so many years later, they decided that they were going to go back up on an expedition and see if they could possibly find any remains of this guy. And this is what I found on this. So these guys right here decided they're going to go on a trek, go looking for him.
Well, what was that? 7 miles we hiked one day?
Yeah.
I think at least. Or that was one way.
Yeah, I think
it was like 14 miles round trip or something like that.
Well, I apologize, fellas, for dragging you out here for this. I had fun.
Yeah, these guys have done their research about where the people that perished were at the time. So now they're trying to go back to those same locations and trying the best they can to find whatever artifacts remain of, maybe it's a piece of an RV.
My God.
And so then we, some 40 years later, are standing on that same ridge line, and we see the remains of an old rusted engine. And we know that Jerry Martin, who was probably the only person up there on that ridge, this is probably the RV where he was making those recordings. And the story reveals itself. And that's how we can tell a story about something as simple as guys taking metal detectors to go look for old things buried in ash turns into a portrait of lives that were lost on May 18th and a renewed sense of our connection to this mountain. I think that's why we love what we do, and we love watching the stories after we make them. We actually go back and we're like, gosh, now that we've taken a shower, that was a pretty fun trip.
How'd they get that picture of him and everything else was destroyed?
Just,
Good
oh,
question.
you mean him?
Yeah.
You mean him that before that? That was a guy that was leaving that camp a couple of days.
He got the guy took the picture, got out.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
guy that the picture
Okay.
got out, and because they were taking week trips up there, all these geologists, because they knew something was happening, and it started earlier that year. So these guys were going up, on a routine basis, and that guy just happened to be there the day that it, but the last picture of him was a couple days prior from one of his colleagues packing him back out.
Oh, okay. All right. I got you.
We
So-
figured he had an
I know- I
iPhone.
know-
We figured he had an iPhone back in 1980. or
Well,
something.
I know where Pootie was going. Was aliens there or the Balchinians? Did they take the picture?
A jumper.
Something.
It's just amazing that this it created so much damage. This is old footage from 1980, and you can tell by the cars and the
soared 10 miles above the Cascades.
10 miles.
Yeah.
That's better footage than some of the footage we get today.
Yeah,
Exactly. We
that's
get
true.
more. It's true.
Visibility is down to 0.
We get better, but it's censored.
Okay, so this is what I want to explain to you guys. I grew up in Seattle when all of this happened. I was in Seattle. We got a very light dusting. But unfortunately, where I currently live was one of the most hit areas other than Yakima and Ritzville and Spokane. The ash by halfway through the week had already traveled all the way over to Montana and Wyoming. By the end of the week, whatever the residual, it got to the East Coast. But I asked my husband, because he was living in Tri-Cities at the time, and they thought Tri-Cities was going to get hit. The wind blew. But that day, he said, it got really dark in Erie in Eastern Washington. And I live right where all this shit happened 44 years ago. And that's why I'm sharing it with you, because it doesn't look like that now. And we've got immense growing out here, super fertile area. Unfortunately, a lot of people lost their lives, including Harry Truman. But he didn't want to get off that mountain, okay?
Our president?
No, the old guy, Harry Truman.
Oh.
He was a guy that went up to Spirit Lake way back in the 60s or something.
Oh, I know that dude.
I know that dude. You're like me, Jay. The president?
No, not the president. Actually, he came up. He was hiding out. They came to find out years later there was some research done on Harry, and Harry used to work for the mob, and apparently this is all hearsay, but he did dirty on the mob, so he had to run. So he went to the most remote place in Washington State where nobody could find him. Spirit.
His real name wasn't Harry.
Yeah,
It was Guido.
I don't know if it was Guido. I think it
I
was
heard,
Harry.
I heard he killed a guy one time.
Was that where Grizzly Adams lived? Remember the TV
Yeah.
show? Did he live out there?
Good
It was
question.
pretty
And
remote.
I agree with Skycrest. He says when Mount Rainier blows, it will be incredibly cataclysmic.
Well, we've got a
Think
little
about
bit of information on Mount Rainier, because if Lahar's anywhere near what Mount St. Helens did, Seattle and that whole Auburn Valley, you're going to be toast. But we'll go to that in a minute. But anyhow, within hours that day, Eastern Washington turned dark. You guys, where I live at. And
That's
my
because you live there.
In the cities
No, I
east of the
did.
mountain, the sun was snuffed out. A terrifying darkness at noon.
Nice truck.
It's all tense
And
balls.
ash fell like snow.
Yep.
Man, how much of that shit do those people breathe in? You know, think about that.
So once the glacier melted under the heat of the volcano erupted, it created a gigantic
Where the hell was a glacier?
The glacier's sitting on top of that mountain, just like Mount Rainier. That's why they're pyroclastic type explosions, because you've got cold and heat, and it makes rocks just shoot out like a. But look at this water, you guys. It hard down. Mud. Just
That's a
covered.
V210.
It was going hundreds of miles an hour, a couple hundred miles an hour, as they were saying. The flow was, and it just.
At least 25 people were dead. 40 others were missing. The beautiful mountain with the perfect white cone had blasted and carved a new wasteland.
I'd made up my mind I was going to make it.
Okay, so let's stop here. This is Harry Truman.
That's not the president.
Excuse me. This isn't Harry Truman. This is one of the neighbors that was up on the mountain, and he didn't want to leave. And he's going to start breaking down because his family's like, we got to get the hell out. And he's like, but I don't want to, you know, because people didn't want to leave their homesteads. There wasn't a lot of people that really lived up in that area, but they had beautiful homesteads. And that's where they wanted to retire at. I mean, when this guy broke his heart, he had to get out of there.
But the wife and my friend wanted to give up, and I couldn't turn it. Just, I don't know. It's hard for me to even realize what has happened.
Bird live.
I'm sorry.
Looking for compassionate pediatric care in the tri-state area?
Yeah.
Look no.
Can you tell I've had my granddaughter pediatric care?
Right.
That's for all you old people here on this panel.
It was terrible, you guys, though.
So how many people actually died during this?
Do
you remember?
Oh, no.
Just a second. I have some break. I do have something on it.
Got notes?
Yeah. Of course
I thought it was around 100.
Oh, just a sec here. Let me go back to so you can hear this. When dawn hit, you know, the next day, because they couldn't see shit. It was that bad.
That's called zero visibility.
Up the Toutle River Valley, the destruction was complete.
That is creepy music.
I was going to say, the volcano's bad enough, but you get that spooky lady singing in the background, too.
I know, right?
I'm scared already.
B. Charming said 57 people died.
57. That's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I would think it'd be a lot more.
Yeah, me too.
Reporters were covered by mud and ash.
Tin, he said Harry Truman.
And still, the mountain poured out thick black clouds.
Truman.
You said Truman, though.
Oh, you heard it wrong. It's Truman. Hurry.
Clean yours up, Jay David.
And that's how the ash was traveling, I guess.
Yep, I was right there. I was clear.
A cloud of gray ash to Spokane and then Montana and Wyoming. By midweek, it had reached the East Coast.
I don't remember that.
But most of all, it had reached eastern Washington.
Where I live at currently.
A little bit more pleasant music.
Hey,
ago, David Mall said he seen, they never remember seeing video of Air Force taking out Bigfoot.
The ash fell on the apple trees
Music by Wishbone Ash.
and on the animals.
I hate the music. Sorry, guys.
And on those with nowhere to go.
This is sad.
You got any place to go?
Up your ass.
Might not be a bad idea. Yeah, it'd be a good idea for some people, not for me.
That is Grizzly Adams. That's him.
Get out of this. At least it gets you out of this. Yeah.
Bear got killed in the volcano.
It ain't good either.
I'm sorry, the road is closed from here any further east. Okay. This is as far east as you can go. You have to pull up here into town.
N95 mask.
So what they did is they blocked off I-90 so nobody could come into Eastern Washington from the Idaho side or from the Seattle side.
There was no reason to move and no way to get there.
Anybody want to buy some ash?
Yeah. That was my question. What do they do with all that?
Here we go. What's the way?
They dumped it on a lot of farm fields because it was volcanic ash full of lots of good minerals.
Jasper said that he collected a medicine vial full of volcano dust off
No
of his
one
car
knew when the skies would clear again.
in Maryland.
West of the mountains, survivors were devastated by what they saw.
Part of the house is still standing, and we left with the shirts on our back. I'd like to get back in.
We all had visions of being filled with cars just filling with ash, and we didn't really know. I think that was the biggest thing, what does this mean and what's going to happen?
It was as scary gets, because you didn't know what was coming out of the sky. You couldn't see. It was hard to breathe. The kids were crying, saying, "Daddy, are we going to be all right?" And I guess the answer was, yeah, we are, but we have a lot of work to do and we got to do it together. That's what I told my kids. Just hang together and we do it together. And yeah, I was scared to death.
We recommend you do not go into the area.
Can we go anyway, or?
You go, there is no rescue, and I cannot guarantee your life will be saved because this one is 100+ feet deep.
Okay.
Rocket.
Sit down. Yeah, he's down with it.
Let's go.
Everything was buried, you guys, and
it just doesn't even seem real. I see pictures of what we went through, and it just, when the people in the helicopter took us back up there, they could not believe that we climbed out of it. They just could not believe it. It was just terrible. You couldn't imagine the destruction, the total devastation of it all. It happened within 10 seconds, and it was all gone.
Oh, this music. Sorry, guys. Is that a survivor? Oh, shit. Whoa, some guy actually made it through that shit.
He was a prepper.
Yep.
He had all the shit in his truck.
Search and rescue teams looked for life in the moonscape and found some. More often, they found death.
There were some people packed in up here from on Ryan Lake, and their 2 pack horses are dead, and their vehicles are there and everything. But I think they must have got them out. Although there is a dead man there.
There's a
dead man. Yeah.
Jimmy Carter.
Oh yeah,
Carter.
Lucky. A potato.
He didn't fall.
No,
No,
but
he didn't fall.
peanut and potato. Another one of those things, that's kind of similar from that time.
At least he went there.
True.
Better
The
help.
governor had asked for federal disaster relief, and the president came to take a look.
I wonder if they know. I'm sorry, but I wonder if they know the last time it erupted before 1980. Do they probably do, but I mean, how many hundreds of years or what?
Yeah.
It is literally indescribable, and it's a devastation.
Are you having trouble trying to keep up with your professor? You've
Yes.
got to try harder. Here's how
I am.
I am.
Erectile dysfunction.
I've never seen or heard of anything like this before. Somebody said it looked like a moonscape, but the moon looks like a golf course compared to what's up there.
The damage was more than could be absorbed in a single helicopter ride. Miles of the Columbia and Cowlitz River shipping lanes had turned to mud. The Corps of Engineers estimated a $200 million dredging job.
All that lumber's worth money too.
Oh yeah.
On the side of the mountain, $500 million worth of timber struck
There you
down.
go.
I wonder who on the
In
dredging
Yakima
company.
alone, the ash cleanup cost
Okay, so Yakima is about an hour from me, east, and so they got hit right before my area got hit.
$4.5 million.
And this is Yakima.
The government appropriated $1 billion in disaster aid, but who could really count the loss? And still the mountain boiled. It would erupt twice again in the next month, showering ash over Portland and Olympia, Washington. Weeks later, scientists got their first good look at Mount St. Helens. 1,400 feet of mountaintop was gone.
1,400 feet.
Historically, this young volcano had always been the most active in the chain of a dozen volcanoes. The Indians spun legends around the fiery mountain. But this eruption, this blast, the equal of a 50 megaton bomb, was the most dramatic in at least 500 years.
There you go, Yoga.
500 years. Okay.
Hey, what happened to all the Bigfoot?
Well, okay, so there's a story that was going around after that for many, many years and still is going around.
Still is,
That-
yeah.
Yeah, that the military cordoned off 300 miles around the base of the volcano, and they were retrieving carcasses of Bigfoots because apparently Bigfoots really like to live up here in the Cascades, around all these mountains. I don't know why, but it's just a rumor, right? Just rumors. But in the end,
It might be drop bears.
Might be what?
A drop bear.
bears.
A drop bear. Well, the thing is now Mount Rainier's not too far from St. Helens, and in the event that that Rainier was to go off, oh, excuse me, this is Mount St. Helens. Did I go to the wrong one? Just a sec, I went to the wrong one. Shit, where is it now?
I thought you were totally prepared. As much money as everybody sends and cash apps.
I know.
Put your shit together.
I'm so rich off of all of this, right? Oh, where is it? Just got it. Well, okay, let me find that in a minute. But in the interim, okay, so in the last couple of days, I guess it came out on the 17th, so it was yesterday. Some dude had just released some pictures that he took 44 years ago, but he was too scared to release them then. Because
images of the eruption we've never seen before. For the first time, a pilot from Paulsbo is releasing the photos he took from the air moments after the eruption. Here's Cairo 7 with an exclusive, the story behind those photos. Take a look at these photos. These are photographs taken by aerial photographer and pilot Salem town of Paulsbo on May 18, 1980, just moments after Mount St. Helens erupted.
We were flying over Olympia at the time, and had my radio on in the plane, and I heard the mountain had just blew its top. So I looked south, and I could see it down there. You know, this was a once in a lifetime thing, so I went ahead and flew straight down there. I mean, we couldn't have got any closer.
That day, Salem flew his Cessna 150 between two bands of volcanic ash to snap the photos. A daring move because volcanic ash particles can make a plane's engine malfunction.
That was the scariest part of the whole thing, because if that had closed in, it certainly wouldn't have been good. But you know, just a chance that I was willing to take at the time just to see that mountain. But yeah, that was kind of the scariest part of it.
The eruption killed 57 people and blew 1,300 feet off the mountain. It's taken Salem 44 years to release the photographs because he says he knew the FAA wouldn't have approved.
Like I say, I was flying kind of in a no-fly zone, you know, and if they were flying through the ash, the FAA wouldn't have liked that. So I thought, well, maybe I'll publish them someday, you know, and I never have got around to it. And I guess after 44 years, I thought, well, after all this time, you know, perhaps I should. You know, so that's how it all happened.
He told us even though it was dangerous, he doesn't regret the experience and is grateful he was there to capture the historic moment.
So once I got through it, it was certainly well worth it, you know, to actually get to see that up close, you know, and just a fantastic experience all the way around. It's sad so many folks passed away in that, you know, down below. You know, but after seeing all the big trees falling, you know, I can see how they didn't really have a chance. You know, that was a horrible part of it.
An incredible story, and it's 75 years young. You can still spot Salem town flying his Cessna around the Northwest. He's been flying for 57 years and says he's still keeping an eye on Mount St. Helens.
Right.
Yeah,
but he didn't get no pictures of any Sasquatches.
No, but he may have got pictures. I mean, come on, 44 years later. Like, what's the chances that just yesterday they released that story? The day before the 44th anniversary. It doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's a little bit. Oh, go ahead.
Maybe, I was just going to say, maybe he felt it was time that it came out and he didn't think he'd get in any trouble.
Statutes of limitations.
Yes, they were gone.
Yep.
Well,
it's good for Hunter. It's good for him.
I'm going to show you some raw footage that was taken. And this guy that I'm going to show you here is Harry Truman, the old guy that died on the mountain, the guy that wouldn't come off the mountain, the guy that, you know, messed around with the mob and robbed them and went out to this remote place in Washington, Spirit Lake. And he ended up leasing 99 acres from the state. But the whole deal was he had to put a lodge up there. And he's like, okay, cool. And they gave him the land and he built this lodge. Well, they brought lots of people in to try to get him to come down. And this is the last footage of him 3 days before he was gone.
Was he down there screaming, hell no, I won't go?
Yep.
Wait, Free Palestine. Free Palestine.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, this is the big lodge that he built, according to the state, to be able to lease out those 99 acres, almost 100 acres. You got to build this.
It's a
Go ahead.
nice little cabin.
It's a lodge. It's a visitor's lodge and a hotel, or it was. That's him. That famous little mug right there with that John Deere cap. Because I even remember him from when I was 13. Because I was like, dude, get off the mountain, man. Get off the mountain. They even brought his sister in with the helicopter. Said, come on, get off this mountain. Nope, he would not leave. And so these are the last known photos of him.
I think he's still alive. I think he's in witness protection program.
See, now that's another thing. They said that there were caves up there, and people, that's another theory too, that he survived the blast. But look at how old he was. He was pretty old back then, like 1980. I doubt he's alive. But this is the lodge that he had built in order to have that property with the state, and it was a beautiful area. And then they also they had a bunch of, there's like 2 Boy Scout camps up in the area, and so they knew something was coming, so they brought in all of these helicopters to bring out all the equipment from the Boy Scout camps, like the canoes and life craft stuff and all their supplies they had up there. So they dropped these big shipping containers and had them just load up this shit. And this was, 3 days before the blast. They got a lot of it out of there. It's just interesting to kind of look back, because it was 44 years ago today that, the landscape of Washington was literally changed, you guys. And it's so easy to spot Mount St. Helens on a map. You don't even have to have it labeled. It's just so easy with that big blowout there and all that water and mud that hard down and just buried everything. I mean, who's to say civilizations, that's why we're digging up all this shit now. What if the mud flood?
When's it going to happen again? Not just that one.
That's one of the big questions. Could it happen again?
Here's another question. We're in, what are we in? Solar. Well, but it's number 25? Which one are we in? 25?
We're in solar cycle 25, yes.
So what was going on? Was any of that type of stuff happening at that point in time?
See, that I didn't go back and look, and I really wished I would have before this stream, because...
You didn't?
No, I didn't look at that, because... I was trying to get some good footage to show you without doing a documentary kind of crap on it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a documentary, just saying.
Yes.
All right. Well, sorry. So they're saying, could a Washington volcano erupt again in our lifetime, and could it happen? And chances are, yeah, something could very easily happen again. And if it does, chances are they're going to be, these types of eruptions that are pyroclastic, and they cause all these lahars and all the water. So here's this photo I wanted to show you of Mount Rainier. If Mount Rainier was to go off, they're predicting that as the glacier melts immediately and busts down the mountain, most likely it's going to take this path of least resistance, and it's going to wipe out Enumclaw, Buckley, and it's going to go all the way down into Tacoma, Puyallup, and into.
So you're saying more than 57 will get killed in this one?
Oh yeah, big time, because there's a lot of people that live up in Enumclaw and Buckley and Sumner and Auburn. Auburn's a big city. Kent, you big hairers from the 80s. Yeah, that was the joke. You knew if they had big hair, they probably lived in either Kent or Linwood. It was
what about
a joke.
Wenatchee?
No, Wenatchee. It's funny. Wenatchee didn't get hit by St. Helens, and neither did the Tri-Cities areas. Just straight down the middle of the armpit of Washington. But
is Wenatchee an Indian name?
Yeah.
So it was protected. There you go.
Almost most of the cities, a lot of the cities in Washington State are named after Indians. Because you got like Spokane, the Wenatchee Indians, Chief Moses Lake, Chief Seattle, Issaquah.
Seattle?
Yeah, Chief Seattle. Yeah, he's real. He was real, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Chief Seattle. He was an Indian or something. I don't know. But anyhow, you guys, you're asking me weird questions. But if Rainier was to go off, yeah, this is the path that it most likely would, and these people in this area would be totally in danger. I'm glad my mom lives way up here. So yeah. Anyhow. So that's the deal on Mount St. Helens, you guys, 44 years ago today. And now we got kick-ass potatoes here. Yeah.
Spuds.
I'm going to ask you the same question they did last night.
What was it?
That was the one where you decided to move from Seattle where you didn't get anything, right?
Where you could get it.
And buy a house in the middle of the shitstorm. Just wondering.
But when I moved here 20 years ago, you couldn't even tell anything that originally happened out here. All I saw was
fake?
No, I saw these weird pictures and like some of these there was a couple of old diners and an old restaurant, and they had pictures of the ash all drifted up, like 6 feet tall. And I'm like, ooh, wow, I never seen these pictures before. But
do you think you got it in your yard? Can you go out and
dig a hole?
Most likely it's probably settled down into the ground so deep at this point, and then they shipped out a lot of it that was in the downtown areas and stuff. But my husband said they were told to change their filters, try to cover their face. They didn't really have masks back then. And
put pantyhose on?
Pardon me?
Put pantyhose over your face?
No,
a lot of bandanas.
A lot of
bandanas,
and then the interesting thing though about this area is because of that, there's been a lot of respiratory illnesses with elderly and children over the years. And the reason why I know that is because I used to manage a durable medical company here, and my God, we did so many nebulizers. There was just children. And then when they burn, you're in a farming area. It's dusty, and yeah, there's probably some ash still, but I don't know where it's at now. And then somebody was trying to bottle it back in the day, and they were selling it as souvenirs to people.
Why not?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship. It's like a penny.
I'm thinking that's some kind of shit that you breathe it in, and it probably gets in your lungs, and it doesn't leave your lungs. Exactly. When they dug up all those mummies back in the 20s and stuff, they did x-rays on them and whatnot, and their lungs were literally like that much full of sand. Just from living in the desert, man. You're going to breathe that shit in and it can't get back out. I would think the same thing with that ash.
It's a lot of ass in the lungs.
Yes. A lot of ass in the lungs.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it glass? Isn't it that ash like glass? Didn't we talk about this last night?
If it is, then coming out. If it's glass, if it's like fiberglass, or like that's what asbestos is. It's like little pieces.
Isn't that where they mine diatomaceous earth in that area? And I know that stuff under a microscope looks like glass.
Jason says it's tiny rocks, and he also says in 1980 was just past the peak of solar max for that cycle.
Oh wow!
Thank you, Jason.
And the thing is they've been watching Mount Rainier. They've been watching Mount St. Helens. Like there's been a lot of activity as far as earthquakes and stuff around that. And then the last few days, I haven't seen any, hardly any earthquakes, you guys. And I'm sure Dutch Sense is freaking out because usually we have a lot more going on. And then
after we have 6, 7, 8 X flares, and if we're not seeing any earthquakes.
Yes. So let me see if I can bring up the USGS here for you guys and show you, because there was an earthquake by USGS earthquake. was by Mount St. Helens, and then today was one by Mount Rainier. Now
See,
it's
they weren't
not,
suppressing all the information back then because they knew 3 days ahead of time. They were telling everybody. Now they ain't gonna
Amen.
tell nobody shit.
I'm not
okay.
gonna tell you. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with you, AB.
yeah, I don't think they are, because when I looked at this map, so let me back out here and change all of this because I'm gonna go
So
to
Pete Charming was wondering if anybody heard anything about Mount Hood.
no, I haven't recently. I haven't looked at I'm not really good at the earthquake stuff like Duchess, you know what I mean? I mean, I can look at stuff and I know where things are, you know, for the mountains up in the Cascades, but I don't know about anywhere else in the world. Like, you know, that's only, and like okay, so let's zoom in on this. And does this look normal?
Of course, perfectly normal.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Everything's normal.
oh yeah, so let's go 1 day all magnitudes. Wow, that sure isn't a very many earthquakes, guys. Got one over here in Idaho, and that looks like that one's most likely on the edge of the craton of yeah, it is, of Yellowstone. And then let's zoom in Washington. What is that? Buckley. Buckley. Let's zoom in. I'm pretty
Nothing to
sure.
see here.
Oh, is that Mount Rainier? Remember I said Buckley, Sumner, all those areas if Mount Rainier was to go off? Because here's Mount Rainier. Here's Enumclaw, Buckley, Puyallup, Tacoma.
Enumclaw? What'd you say?
Enumclaw, yeah, Enumclaw Indians.
Okay.
Yeah, these are all Indian names, but yeah, so it was a 1.6, and that was
That was just firecrackers. That was somebody launching firecrackers.
But the thing is we usually see a lot more going on. And what the hell is way up here? Nespelum?
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
Nespelum? No way! That's up by the mountains. What? That's where the mountain people are. That's where some of the
Yeah,
scary.
we haven't heard that in a while, Jay.
Yeah, that's a scary place. Yeah. Oh, right there on the Columbia.
Not an explosion.
Most likely, there's the dams up there that could have been caused by electrical that Dutch talks about sometimes. But overall, there's not a lot of earthquakes. You know, that's kind of odd with all the energy that we've had coming in this last week, and this map don't look very.
So Jason said we were at the end of a solar cycle, or maximum.
Yeah.
On the bottom side of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I figured we were probably in some kind of shit. Be interesting to see if you had any flares before that, if it was what was going on before that happened.
Well, we know tomorrow.
But of course, none of that affects earthquakes or volcanoes, right?
Oh no,
not at all.
A 3.0 mag earthquake, Mount Hood, 2 days ago.
So something's going on.
they didn't have NexRad radar back then either. Oh, I wish I would have sent you that video of the guy going over that, showing the storm that hit Houston, and it got taken down off TikTok. Because he was explaining what they were doing with NexRad, how they were separating those two storms so they could make the one in Houston more powerful.
Yeah, I saw some video from Houston, man. It was terrible. Skyscraper windows blown out. Big old barns blown over.
Oh, in Texas?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's, unless it's Houston, Washington.
Texas. Oh my God. Oh, Albany. AB Albany's out there.
Oh, hey, Albany. Glad you're here.
We haven't seen Albany forever. We love
Albany from Oregon. How do you say that?
Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon.
Albany, were you even born in 1980? I don't know if she was.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I just really was a weird. I remember
Alright.
that when I was 13, all that going off, and I did feel bad for Harry, man, because my dad was always watching the news, and I saw that story about Harry, and I'm like, get off the bed, old man. He just wouldn't go.
Defiant. Hell no, I ain't gonna go.
Very much.
Same thing happens now though with hurricanes. People don't leave when they know they should.
Well, and you got to be ready for that shit, because I mean, geez,
Exactly.
like you gotta be ready for what's ever in your area, and because mine is earthquakes and volcanoes. Yeah, I'm gonna have earthquake and volcano crap. Yeah, that sounds weird, but okay. Yeah, that sounded weird.
I guess I'm gonna have to watch out for Stone Mountain. It might blow up.
So what else is going on in the news?
I got drag racers out on the interstate tonight.
Drag racers?
Yeah, street racers. They're out here acting
What
a
do
fool.
What do you got, Pootie? What's going on out there? Anything in Ukraine?
I don't know, man.
Is Ukraine winning?
No, they said they are. They said that. Well, they said they sent 100 drones in the other night, but they. I don't know, man. It's just a mess.
Knocked them all down, right?
Yeah.
Most of them.
I've been so busy this week. I ain't kept up with nothing. That's why I come in here for y'all and see what kind of stuff and somebody wants to do. Just,
The
The hell's-
Russians moving in with no offense.
Yep.
What, Pootie?
So the Russians just walking into Ukraine. Well, ain't nobody there stopping them.
Yeah, I think what we hear last night, they wanted it like a truce or a
Yeah.
pause for the Olympics. They said, hell no.
are they doing the Olympics in Ukraine?
No, it's in Paris. What is it? Is it July 26th? Is that when they start? I believe. July 26th is
I'll be
the,
watching that. That'll be top on my list to pay attention to.
Oh, yeah. Imagine all the shit that's going to get blown up.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. How much you want to bet somebody's going to do some kind of dumb shit there?
Yeah.
Protesting.
Yeah, actually.
Not just protesting, but real mischief. You know,
Something that starts with a T.
Jay knows what I'm talking about.
Kaboom.
Yeah, kaboosh. Yeah.
There was another train station. Kaboom.
Concert.
Yes. Yes.
And, you know, just all the people that are there for the Olympics, man. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster. In Paris, of all places.
Well,
And you know what? Can I talk for just a second?
Yeah.
You got
This
it.
this is on topic. Last few days, I've been looking at, and I don't know why I went down this rabbit hole, but I looked at like Denmark, Sweden, separately in YouTube videos. Denmark, Sweden, France, Finland, yeah, on and on and on and on and on. And they're all having these same problems we're having with the illegal immigration. I mean, and they're overrun and everything. The one country over there that's got their shit together is Poland. They're taking in Ukrainian refugees that they know they can count on, but nobody from anywhere else. No, and they don't have any crime, and their economy is doing well, and everything else. Man, they're like, we ain't doing that shit. But I've looked at a ton of other countries that are just like, no more.
Borders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
So we
over
can't
there,
make fun of the Polacks because they're actually pretty damn smart.
I swear to God. I swear to you. Yeah, we can't make fun of them no more. Sweden is another one. I don't know if I mentioned that one or not. It's bad. I mean, it's bad. Crime is up. It's just like here, you know, everything is. Yeah, it's
Maybe I have
terrible.
a message from chat for you. Albany, Oregon says, AB is probably driving. Can you tell him my family and I say hi and many blessings from my family to his? Kikisi family, please. Yep.
We love Albany. Albany goes back to the very beginning of 10 TV, does she not, AB?
Yeah, I miss her. I miss her rants. She'd get all fired up. She's a little worse than I am sometimes.
Mandy.
Yeah, Jorgen, the thing is,
Hi,
over in
Mandy.
Europe, it's Muslims.
Well, that's what I know, and that's what they're saying. They're not letting into Poland.
That's right.
I watched another video of just something completely different. It was just this guy, but I guess he does travelogues or whatnot, and he went to Poland, and there's this peninsula that goes out into the Black Sea. Summertime, most beautiful beach you ever saw in your life. He walked like 7 miles down this damn beach, man. I mean, it is gorgeous, man. And you'd see a few people, but hardly nobody at all. I'm like, man, I'm moving to Poland, man. That's where I'm.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Can't go to Taiwan no more.
No, you can't go there.
Or the Philippines. They're all messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, anywhere would be better than here, only because of the fact that we're supporting everybody around the world. Kind of like what this guy was saying. Ooh, strong language advised.
I am tired. The American people are the biggest slaves of any citizenship in the entire world. Let me tell you why. Because the American people are the only people that are told, go work super hard, go take a massive amount of your life, and we're going to take at least half your money.
Yeah.
Right? And then when we take half your money, we're going to send it overseas, or we're going to mismanage it, or we're going to steal it, or we're going to funnel it back into our political contributions, or we're going to send it over here for quote-unquote aid. Okay, where's our motherfucking aid? Where's our aid?
Say, you motherfuckers.
Or any of these other rich countries to fix our homeless problem? Do you ever notice that none of the other citizens on the planet work so that we can have a better here in America? It's always the other way around. Why the fuck are we, the citizens of the United States of America, financing the well-being of every other fucking country in this planet, okay? Until people wake up to that and say no more, shit's going to continue. This land of the free. That's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke, dude. Land of the free, land of the motherfucking worker bees is what we are. We work. Government takes more than half of our money, and you say, oh, well, they don't take half of mine. They only take half of the rich people's money. Oh, really?
Bullshit.
What do you pay when you buy shit? What do you pay when you own shit? What do you pay on your personal property? What do you pay when you put gas in your car? Okay? And if you add all those things up that you pay, they're taking 50% of your money too. And they're telling you to work. The American dream, the American dream, the American dream. And then we'll take half your shit and send it to other countries. We are the world's ATM. The people of America are the world's ATM. It needs to end. People need to say no more. They need to get smart about taxes. Do you ever question why you weren't taught personal finance, balancing your checkbook, or taxes when you were in high school? Why isn't that part of the public education? Why are they teaching instead gender ideology and all this fucking bullshit? Because they want you to be financially ignorant so that you will go through your life not realizing how much they're actually oppressing you and how much they're actually stealing from you. And then they're going to tell you this is freedom. No, the fuck it isn't. It's not even close. So that's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of us being financially oppressed by our own government in the name of being quote unquote good people to all these other people that want to kill us. Me and Toad is virtuous.
Can I say something real quick? Here in Virginia, and I don't know if the rest of you guys have this, but we have personal property taxes, which is a load of shit, man.
Yes, we do.
You pay taxes when you buy the vehicle. You pay taxes every time you put gas in it. You know, everything you do, you're paying taxes on. And just for owning it, just like my house, I get a tax bill every year, you know, and then I get it for the boat is the worst, man. The boat is the highest one of all.
That's a luxury item. That's why.
Yeah, I guess so. But you know, it's just like all of a sudden, what? You know, I just did my other taxes, my state and federal. You know, I had to pay them. And now I got to pay all this bullshit just because I own something. You know, I've already paid taxes on it.
It's even worse for one of these damn trucks. I got to pay an international fuel tax.
Ooh.
I got to pay taxes when I buy the fuel. Every quarter I have to do the IFTA. We're taxed like so much if you own one of these trucks. But yeah, it's ridiculous.
And how much better would your life be if they kind of cut back on some of these restrictions and taxes and all that stuff, man? Your life would be a shitload better, man. And you'd spend more money in the economy, and the economy would get better.
And Chessboard said, Tin TV, we, the most supposed intelligent species on Earth, are the only species that pays others to rule over us. Ooh.
Hey, Tin, do something real quick for me. Look and see if you can search Marge and AOC getting into it a day or two ago. Damnest shit I've ever seen.
Great. That was great.
And in the interim, Jake Paul, whoever that left speechless after Mike Tyson tells Jake Paul he gave him an election watching videos of him at 16. What?
I don't get it.
I don't get that one either.
Gave him a what? An election?
No, I think there's a letter missing there.
And Trump spoke in Dallas today supporting the NRA. And wasn't he in Minnesota? Choo!
Yep, he was in Minnesota too. Not today, a couple days
How
ago.
does he do it? How does he keep up like that, man? I'd be dead on my feet if I was that man.
Yeah, but if you're flying from A to B and it's 8 hours and you're in Trump plane, you're pretty comfortable.
No, I get that, but still, he goes up and talks. Rarely does he take a drink of water. Rarely does he take a drink of water. And he goes on.
Rarely does he use a teleprompter.
At least two, exactly. At least 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you keep doing it?
Here's a good little story real quick of a trucking story. The other day Wednesday morning when I got unloaded, I had a guy next to me. I got out of the truck, was doing something, guy stood out, and he said, "Sir." I said, "Yes." "Got a question. This place take a long time." So I went on. "Yeah, I come here a lot. You never know, blah, 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 blah." And we were talking, just trucking. And I said, "If you don't mind me asking," I hear an accent. He said, "I'm Kurdish. I'm from Iraq." Immediately, he pulls his shirt up. And I'm like, holy shit, he's got this scar from about where his chest plate, or your breastbone, where your ribs and all meet, from there all the way down to a little bit past his belly button. He turns around, he's got a hole. He said, "I worked for the American military when I was over there." And I said, "So you got shot?" He said, "Yep." Started telling me about what he did over there. He was hauling stuff, and he was getting paid $20,000 a week through the federal government to do this job. And he got to carry a gun. And when he got shot, we got talking about the government. We got started on that. And he said, "I love this country." He said, "I came here in 2008, I think. And he went back in 16. He still had it. They had a hit on him. That's how he got shot that night. He was telling me exactly what happened. Remembered the car was a BMW, was next to the truck, and he started shooting. He didn't realize he was shot, but he tried to match the clutch, and he couldn't move his legs. So he made it. He's had like 8 or 9 surgeries, and started telling me, he says, "The people are great here." He said, "The government," he said, "they lied to me and lied to me. Still to this day, they've not finished their promise of giving me citizenship. I'm still here on a work visa or something like that." But he went back in 2016 and went to see his family. And that's the first thing I asked him. I said, "Did they not go after your family?" He said, "No, they were just after me." They blew his car up, and he said that's the last time he's been back. But it was an interesting story telling you how we've operated over in these countries and Iraq with all the promises and oil being stolen. So it was right in my face. I always say I don't believe it unless I see it, smell it, touch it, feel it. So when I saw that, the stories that I heard that we had done to some of the guys that worked over there for us was true. So there you go.
Question in chat: did you lick it?
No, I didn't lick it. No, I didn't lick it.
Smelled it, touched
I didn't.
it,
I just saw one. It was just one, and it was good enough for me to believe. But no, I didn't smell it, touch it, lick it.
Okay.
Seeing it was enough, and just bad enough. Great question, OJ. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
Dick.
Weird times we live in.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
it's
wanted to
perfect.
flash you
Everything.
back to 4 years ago. Remember 4 years ago, the good old days, guys?
Yeah, $200 in groceries.
One bag.
That's true. We went yesterday and by the time we rang everything up, it was 250 something, but we didn't have anything.
Yep.
It was $256 or something. And my wife looks at me and goes, "We don't have anything."
It would have been years ago. Just a few years ago, it would have been like $48, man.
Yeah.
You know.
But we're only at
But the
3%
potatoes
interest.
said there's no inflation.
Yeah, we're only 3%.
And half that stuff's poison.
Yeah, true.
But see, one of these talking heads the other day ago on the radio was saying that this inflation is basically like another tax on us. You know, you can look at it that way.
Yep, it sure
Remember
is.
everything we got during the Jabrona. Now look at it. They take it all back times 3 or 10 or whatever the hell it is.
That's right.
Everybody thought we were getting all this free money.
Have y'all seen all
I didn't
these?
get no free money. Hold on.
I didn't get no free money. Have y'all seen all these shops that are closing down in L.A. and New York? They're keeping it kind of on the hush hush, but man, I mean, places are closing down. Boom, 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 everywhere.
Yeah, after what they did to Trump, everybody's getting out of New York. Any money?
Well, they're also the shoplifting has gotten so bad that they can't.
Don't even mess with them there.
Yeah.
They don't.
Because they don't do anything about it.
Where I live, they put it on Facebook.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, they say they're taking these things and taking them to a warehouse and then reselling them on Amazon and shit. All the stolen stuff, you know, beauty aids and whatnot, you know.
Purses and...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell, just makeup and toothpaste and shit like that, man, they're doing, supposedly.
They'll put a picture of them up on Facebook. Do you know this person? Contact us. Sheriff's Department will. They don't play still where I live, thank God.
Oh, and Karen said Red Lobster in Olive Garden is closing down. Yeah, I know that Red
Yep.
Lobster is closing a lot of their locations.
Did where I live. Shut one down in Athens, Georgia.
I hope they don't shut the one down near me because I like to just every now and then go to Red Lobster by myself and get me a big old freaking meal. I hope they don't close.
And then silver, what the hell is going on with silver? It's just,
Well,
I guess
silver and gold.
there's a
Gold's
silver
gone.
squeeze going on.
Oh,
But I heard there's a silver
No.
squeeze. Go ahead.
Kitco silver price was at $31.84. Not even an hour ago. An ounce. Where
84, so it went up. It was, what did you say before we started? 31.20 or?
no, an
It's
hour
jumped in
ago
an
it
hour
was
or two.
$31.84. Yeah. It's been climbing all week.
Well,
I mean, the
Pooty
whole
Poo,
week
what did
it's climbed.
Pooty Poo? What did you hear on silver?
Oh, so they was gonna quit take it off the market or more or less, or they wasn't gonna be no more trading on it or some shit like that.
What?
Yeah.
Yep. It's called the silver squeeze.
Happens at the Reddit crowd.
Yeah.
Gets into commodities. Silver, because there seem to be two very different storylines going around.
Reddit traders now set on silver. The social media movement is gaining momentum, and they want to send the price sky high.
Pushing hashtags like silver squeeze, and it's a true sort of on-the-ground uprising against silver and the banking system.
They go by the name of Silver 8, Silver Factors, and Wall Street Silver.
Digital world.
The 123,000 plus members encourage each other to buy bars and coins as a hedge against inflation.
These one-time increases in prices are likely to have only transitory effects on inflation.
But skeptical of the whole idea of the Fed pumping enormous amounts of money into the system. I think that silver is a natural play here as a result of that.
And that's why many around the world do believe currencies are very vulnerable and that physical investments are the way to go. Right, and who's just buying because they like silver, right?
And I just love investing in silver.
Can you please ask Max about his thoughts on the silver squeeze? It's not going to be that straightforward. It's not going to be that simple with silver, right? There are way more paper claims, such as derivatives, for example, on silver than actual hardcore tangible silver.
God forbid if the bullies, the financial markets, ever were to take it on.
At least a few options traders out there seem sympathetic to the Silver Eight's cause.
They're not actually in the silver market. They're not actually in the silver market. They're just casual observers.
They even helped push up the price of silver to a 5-month high just this past January, which is why we call that a short squeeze as well.
We're able to tamp down what could have been a much worse situation in the silver market.
One member of a group of Silver Eights told me that he believes the market is manipulated by bullion banks, and that's why he's holding on to this stuff for a lot longer. I knew you wanted to see it.
Silver squeeze.
Oh, there he is.
Get your silver.
But don't get it on paper. Get the physical.
And then, so we talked about this last night with Jay and everybody in the group, and how, we're excited that it's going up, but
what's the effect of it?
There's a lot of things that are made with silver. One of them is X-rays. They're actually lined with silver. They burn the image through the silver to make the X-ray. They put it in solar equipment. It's on all your computer chips, Jay. What else were you telling me it was in?
It's in your cars. It's in everything. Your toaster, your refrigerator, your air fryer, your silver's in everything. It's the best, cheapest. Yeah, it's the best, cheapest conductor besides gold.
But now we were also talking last night about why this is happening, and it has something to do possibly with these banks.
Oh, well, you had
currency value in banks. Yeah.
Well, you had. I just read today. You had China sold $53 billion worth of our U.S. bonds. They're getting ready for something. They just got rid of, sold all their bonds.
How much more do they have? That'd be the question of the day.
Yeah.
And who bought it? Who in the world will buy those things?
Who did they sell them to?
Yeah, I don't know.
Russia bought them.
I don't know. Russia's got the digital.
Kim Jong-un bought them.
You got the digital ruble. Yeah.
Word on the street, it's BlackRock.
Oh, no.
Yep. BlackRock might be behind the squeeze because they are invested in so many different things and split off that they're realizing now that they might have to back their shit real quick because they know something's coming. But not only that, it's the crypto. Crypto's
what's coming is you got all these in Africa, and all we see is all these kids digging for silver mines and cobalt mines and diamond mines, and they're all kids. So when BRICS takes over, there won't be that no more. You can't have kids in there. That's going to be off the table.
Awaken Shireen even said BRICS is already online.
That's what I heard too. I heard it's already kicking off.
Well, this is what I've got on the crypto that just came out and within the last 12 hours or 13 hours. Oops.
It's a cyber crash.
Just a second. Sorry, guys. I've messed up.
Everything will go to zero. It's a cyber crash. So the White House will crash everything, including the stock markets, everything. In this event, everything goes to zero. But like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, gold and silver will revalue along with XRP and XLM. XRP is backing gold, and XLM is backing silver. So after the event, what has value is gold and silver, XRP and XLM, and the other ISO 2.2 coins. they'll have massive value, and so will the assets on Lobster. So, initially, you talk about BlackRock. I own lots of BlackRock. I own lots of Vanguard. I own lots of well-known companies because all those companies have had their assets seized, and they're laying them out as tokens on the Stellar network. And if it wasn't true, then all these big companies would be up in arms and saying it's a lie. It's not true. No one is. I mean, I own a lot of BHP, a lot of mining companies. One, because that's going to be a huge after the event as we rebuild, but you don't see any mining company, saying it's not true. So that tells you everything you need to know. So this is definitely seized assets, and people are positioning themselves. Those who are awake, those who understand and resonate with it, they're positioning themselves so that they can take advantage of the wealth transference. But it's not a greed mentality. You've got to get this right. If you come into this with a greed mentality, you're going to do some silly things. This is about the wealth transference. I've always said to people that if you invest $500 worth of XLM into these assets, you're going to set yourself up for life. $1,000 worth of XLM will set you,
There you go.
you and your generations.
This is all the same stuff I heard back in 2015, 14.
But now look where we're at.
No, it's moving.
It's moving.
Is XLM Ripple? Is it Ripple?
It's a Ripple. It's
That's
a
what I thought,
Ripple
yeah.
partner. Yeah, it's spun off from XRP, and it's Europe. They're in Europe.
And
But
backed
Ripple-
by gold and silver, right?
Yes. Well, XLM will be backed by silver. Or XRP is supposed to be backed by gold, but XRP's been just like Trump. Has been just pounded
In the court.
pounded in the courts, kept down. Why? Trying to figure out why. I think our reevaluation is coming. You're right, Karen. They got to reevaluate all the money around the world.
And all the debt. There's no way. I mean, unless you just create something to drop everything down to zero, there's no way to pay all the debt that all these countries got. So it has to be a reset. Has to be a reset.
Has to be.
Question is when.
When and how?
Yep, it's the how I'm worried about.
Well, will it be soft? Will it be hard? More than likely, it's all set up to be very hard.
Well, it's supposed to be set up to be, I guess what you would say, soft.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed, and it's supposed to be 90 or 85% of people won't even know that it transferred because we all use our card. It's already digital.
Yes.
Let me ask y'all something because y'all know more about this than I do. Do you guys think there's any gold at Fort Knox?
No.
It's gone.
I think Obama got rid of our gold at Fort Knox, if I remember right. I think it was Obama who
probably went right over to where the cash went to Iran.
Yeah,
Who knows?
or right over there to Ukraine.
Yeah. Fridge off Barb. Basically, we get a do-over. Yep.
Yeah, it's what it's going to be. That's why it's not going to be for all. It's not going to be for all these guys that have all this cash. It's a wealth transfer. It's supposed to make new people run the corporations.
A change.
Yeah, a complete change.
A cleanup of all the corruption. I hope it happens.
And that's what's supposed to be. Whether it does happen or not, I don't know. 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks.
I bet you everybody on this panel and everybody that's in chat agrees we're tired of the shit, the corruption. These Congress people, these senators, all they do is sit and run their damn mouths when nothing gets done. And people are tired of it. Absolutely fed up with it.
100%. 100%. And who said so? I think it was Terry Jones. You're right. The courts keep pounding it.
And Terry Jones also said on 9/11, $15 trillion was stolen and sent to Scotland.
The day before.
Dirty Dick got that. Dirty Dick
Yeah.
Cheney, probably.
Yeah, how many? And that was what was it? The day before or just before that? They came out with what, like $3 trillion missing from the Pentagon.
Yep.
9/11.
I thought it was more than that. I thought it was like 13 trillion or some shit, some crazy number.
It may have been. I thought it was 3, but
It ain't as much as they've
lot-
sent to
a lot-
Ukraine so far.
a lot of money was missing. So, and everybody, and a lot of talk is coming up on 9/11 now. I'm seeing a lot of people bringing up all kinds of stuff on it. They're figuring it out.
Connecting the dots.
Connecting the dots, just like they are with the sky too.
Success 23 years later.
Yep, and we'll have to connect some of those dots tomorrow night.
What?
Well.
What?
The sun simulator.
I'm beginning to think that's what we are seeing. I see the real sun at sunset now, but only for a little while. Is it a sun simulator? Is it Planet Nibiru? Why is all this shit happening all right now?
Called the Great Fuck Around.
Yep, it's time.
Yeah, the sun gets quickly blocked out by that big bright thing.
Jay, it's going to happen in 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks, buddy. Ask me tomorrow. Talk to me tomorrow. It'll be 2 more weeks.
It can't be for 13 days tomorrow.
No, it's 2 more weeks.
Oh. I'm going to be pissed. I want a refund.
People are starting to figure stuff out. They're even using different lenses.
I mean, for real, it's an awesome time to be alive. Awesome time to be alive.
There's always clouds at sunset, though. I don't know.
And I can tell you here, there's probably a few people in chat that are in Georgia. I haven't seen much of any trailing going on here lately.
I haven't either. I've been looking here. I haven't seen a damn thing.
We're
Nothing.
getting blasted up here in the Northwest.
Are you?
Yeah, last night, in fact,
blasted.
they blasted us so hard, but they didn't blast us enough that there was these cracks in the clouds and there was this red coming through. And I'm like, that ain't normal. That is not normal. And I couldn't get a shot because I was on I-90. It's not a great place to, pull off on an interstate. I don't even know if it's legal to do that, take pictures. But yeah, something going on.
Holy shit, we've been on an hour and a half.
Yeah, so I think it's about that time to flip it over to Shift Kicker because, yeah.
The only shout out I have is to the people that joined my chat as I simulcasted. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you, and so does Tin TV. And tonight's prayer, dear God, please keep our family, friends, and loved ones safe. Please watch over them always, and let good health, happiness, and good fortune befall them all. Amen.
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 Nice. So what did you guys think tonight about going on Saturday? Oh, did you want to tell them what our schedule is this week?
Not really.
Let's let them find out. That's what the hell's been going on.
Okay.
Tell us.
No, we plan on going on Sunday. And then I'm headed to Vegas. So if you're going to be in Vegas on the 21st, 22nd, or 23rd, hit me up. I'll be at the MGM.
It's $25 for a picture, an autograph. Make sure you put that up there or hit my Cash App. We'll prepay for it.
I figure somebody if come up, we'll do a $100 pull on a slot machine together or something.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Boom.
And AB, you're gonna come up for Trucker Tuesday, and Yorga, I hope, and Pootie. Because I want to be, because we got to bring in Craig, because he's gonna have to be executive producer that night to fill in for Jay.
Guy's fired me already. He fired me before the show today.
Yeah, that's right.
Suspended without pay.
I'm
Just
suspended.
temporary fire.
You know, I'm going to go to bat for Pootie. He hasn't even received a check yet.
It is Cash App.
Yeah, Tin, what are you doing?
We're not monetized, remember?
No.
I got a Cash App. It's Cash App.
Oh yeah, and the chicken merch club and all that good stuff. Yeah, only on the virtual store.
Send me all your money. I want you to do without groceries this week. Rent, power bill. I need your money.
Car payment.
Car payments. Do without.
And on that note.
Hey, Tin. Shut this
What?
fucking thing down now. Let's get
Well,
out of here.
I wanted to say thank you to Pootie and Yorga for coming up tonight, and AB and Shift and
Absolutely.
and you guys. We did this only because it is the anniversary of Mount St. Helens, and I've been wanting to do this for a couple of years. So thanks for letting me share my experiences from Washington State, where my mountain blew off. Well, kind of blew off you, but it. Only half of it, but still, it was really fun, wasn't it?
And she'll be happy all weekend.
That's right.
Yeah.
Make sure you get everybody to subscribe. Send it to all your enemies, your people you don't like.
Oh, could you guys hit the thumbs up before you go too? Not that it really matters, but it'd be really nice just to push this out in the algorithm, I guess. I don't know. Oh,
Give
Jay,
a thumbs.
you got to do the commercial though.
Put a thumbs up and love Mount St. Helens. Try that.
Oh yeah.
And after stream, stop and drop a heart in the chat.
If it comes back up in your feed and you see it, just click in and put a heart or a piece of poop or something. Anyways, 10 TV 2.
Piece of poop. Always poop subject.
It always goes to the shit subject on it. Hey, go to 10 TV 2 on YouTube. We also have 10 TV on Telegram. Very cool over on Telegram. Also 10 TV on X. Thank you, all your X people out there watching. I heard we had like 1,800 subscribers on X already. Wow.
I thought it was 18,000.
No, that's how many people I'm following.
Oh.
Because I have to span the interwebs for all these short
So we only have like 2 people on X subscribed.
Yeah, no, we have almost 300.
So if you want
I wouldn't even said anything at 300.
Fake
Fuck.
news. Fake news.
Anyways, thank you on X. 10 TV at myyahoo.com for all your bitches and complaints. You can also send them to shiftkicker92 at yahoo.com. That's shiftkicker92 at yahoo.com. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate you all. Thank you, all you veterans out there. As AB always says, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Have a great night.
Party on.
Wait. What do I say?
I forgot.
Dorga.
What?
How y'all doing?
How's your mama now?
How you doing? Or
How's my mom?
how's he say it? Never mind.
Let me speak to Joe. Joe who? Joe Mama.
So we will see you guys tomorrow night. We're gonna go early though, right, Jay? 7 p.m. Pacific Standard. Right?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Check
Okay.
your calendar. Check your calendar.
I gotta check. I'm surprised I'm here tonight.
Yeah, just follow the channel. But thank you so much, and please do a thumbs up. Subscribe if you like this shit. Even if you don't, put a poopy emoji in the chat. We're good with that too. Thanks so much, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing.